It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Ravens and the Broncos coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin alongside my good friend Charles Davis. Charles, so often it's the quarterbacks that are in the spotlight, and in this game, no different. We have a very compelling matchup. Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, Teddy Bridgewater of the Broncos.
And Brandon, I think each one might be trying to play some form of keep away from the other, because when you think about time of possession and what that means in a game, it's great if you're able to hold on to the football and run your offense at your pace. And it also helps to keep the other guy's offense on the sideline. That's your goal for the game.
And off we go from Denver. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
A Pro Bowl quarterback early in his career at Minnesota before a horrific knee injury slowed down his progress. He's a more than capable quarterback who makes the most of his opportunities when he's a starter in the NFL.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Bridgewater. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Bridgewater. He's going to drop this one down to Gordon. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Bridgewater now. Escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Pernell McPhee always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Bridgewater to throw it. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
On fourth down, Sam Martin is on to punt for the Broncos. James Prochet deep for Baltimore. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one. Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
The best numbers that Lamar Jackson possesses is that his team wins the vast majority of games that he starts at quarterback. But in addition, 2,900 yards rushing in his career. They know how to build around him and play to his strengths.
Off the option, here's Williams. In on the stop there, Alexander Johnson, the Broncos' leading tackler last year.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
They go play action now. Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It was Von Miller who shot in there to get him down. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
Now after that sack, it's third and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Jackson from the shotgun. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And Deontay Spencer deep for the Broncos. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. So Melvin Gordon, he has been a 1,000-yard rusher in this league. No more for getting the tough yards, but he breaks off a big one there.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action now. Bridgewater. He finds his man, complete. That's Beck. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. It's a 1st down and more for Gordon. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 119 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Gordon. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 32. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Bridgewater to Hamler, first down Broncos.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now Gordon on first down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. They run it here with Gordon. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Caught on the slant. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And K.J. Hamler really started to come on strong late in his rookie year. 2nd-round pick out of Penn State in 2020. Shifty, excellent speed, and good hands that he exhibited right there.
Williams. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. One man in the backfield, that's Gordon, 2nd and goal. To throw, Bridgewater. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Teddy Bridgewater taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos push further out in front.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10.
Make it happen.
Here's Jackson. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. A good rally to the football. Keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Jackson. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
Bridgewater on 1st down. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Here's Bridgewater. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater.
Patrick Queen
Came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to it, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Bridgewater. They'll let this go deep for Sutton.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On third down, this is Melvin Gordon. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It was Melvin Gordon who came out strong in the first half. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Ravens. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter, and right out of the gate they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done. Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Williams going to get it again on second down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches. That now brings up a very interesting identical situation on third down.
Yeah, people couldn't see us on camera, but I love how you motioned to me like, throw the ball. This is a great shot to take it. Second and short. Maybe take a big shot downfield. Instead, they ran it. Didn't work out for them very well. They should have listened to you, partner.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
146 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On first down, it's Gordon, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Second and 8 coming up.
Coming to you. Hey, check back, 6, let's go.
Throwing, Bridgewater. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. Touchdown! Cortland Sutton, 56 yards. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And sometimes you see big plays develop on a route like this, a slant route, and the object, very simple. Get the ball to your receiver in stride. This one was right on the money. He didn't miss a beat, and then it's off to the races, and there he goes.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 21-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Now Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Oh, the option to give to Williams here.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returnable for Spencer. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. To throw is Bridgewater. Going right back to Fant. Bridgewater to Fant. 1st down Broncos.
And if Noah Fant keeps making catches like that, it might not be too long till we say he's one of the top 5 tight ends in football. When he was drafted, that was the expectation.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Bridgewater now for Gordon on the draw. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Jackson on 1st down. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
Now Jackson on 1st down. Flush to his right. He's to the 10. And he slides to a halt inside the 10. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
Here's Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run on 1st down. Gordon had a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Mike 40, Mike 40. I'm coming.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They're going to run. This is Gordon. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Melvin Gordon unable to push his way forward. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the 1st down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson to throw. Finding Watkins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Jackson.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
Well, for Lamar Jackson, we know all about how dangerous he is running the football, but he can really sling it as well, and he connects on a big one there.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot. And he still dropped it right on the money, too.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow.
Tucker with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And the Broncos are able to recover, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Melvin Gordon leading Denver's offense back out.
And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
So that one will be accepted. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Second and 11.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. Down to a knee goes Bridgewater, and that ought to do it. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big 4th quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the 4th quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Denver.
Oh, the return is Prochet.
Here we go. Here we go.
And Charles, in this one, the 4th quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated. Probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling just a little bit short.
You're never supposed to count a team out, and I know we didn't on air, but mentally, I just didn't see this type of a comeback, especially one that put them in a position to put the real pressure on them down the stretch.